new chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Ball is it in your hand. PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. PNM, we are one. If you want more improvement, vote faster back. If you want more development, we're moving forward with faster. PNM. Talparo, we on the right track. If you want more improvement, vote faster back. If you want more development, vote faster.
The Lord is my shepherd. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He layeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. I hear a rumbling. I'm hearing a rumbling. I am hearing a rumbling from the mountain. I hearing a rumbling from the mountain. And the noise is getting louder and louder. And the sound is going PNM, 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 PNM. Oh, what a beautiful meeting. But when you come into Horquetta, you have to feel the vibration. This is the place where we manufacture balize. When you're going to Wallerfield, Talparo, Todd's Road, Mamaral, we have plenty bush. We are an agricultural constituency, and we have balize growing all over. When you cut it down and you think the plant dead, as soon as the rain fall, it shoot back up, and the suckers continue, and it's balize. And when they look at what we're doing here in Horquetta, they must know, Roxo, have no room here for you, have no yellow code here. This is a city in the making. This is the city of the Red Brigade. No room here for you. Give our Prime Minister Horquetta welcome. Our Lady Vice Chairman Camille Robinson Regis, give our Horquetta welcome. Penny Beckles from Arima, give our Horquetta welcome. Dominic Romain, Kareem Marcel. And say a shout out to Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. So here now, I have a piece of old talk for you. Trinidad and Tobago, good night. This is how we do it in the city of Horquetta. I hear they were choosing candidates in the other party. The candidate they sent for me the last time, they called the candidate and say, hey, you are the person to go back and deal with Foster in Horquetta Talparo. JJ said, not me again. I'm not going back there. I get licks once. I share fridge, I share stove, I share bed, I share microwave. I know them people still about PNM. I'm not taking no licks twice. They say, well, if you can't go, tell us who. Somebody in the back of the room called Judas. The chairman of the meeting said, no, that is not parliamentary language. What about the fella called kilowatts? Well, there could be watty, there could be kilowatts, there could be megawatts. This is Foster Cummings' tongue. La Horquetta belongs to the PNM and Foster Cummings. Roxo! When you come into the city, you meet the mayor at the door, and the mayor in the tongue is Foster Cummings. Roxo! Listen to me. We're going to pepper them with licks. We're going to widen the margin. And you see all the people in these houses around here listening to me? I want every single vote from every single house, on every single street, on every single avenue, all over La Horquetta, Greenvale, and Waterfield. It's PNM, 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 PNM. Listen, all you wake me up, you know. All you wake me up. I want to take 1 second and express condolences to the family of the Sanderford family, the Sanchez family, and the Joseph family, members of my campaign team who lost their relatives recently. We want on behalf of the PNM to express condolences to you. And I want to welcome and recognize all the members of the PNM. I see so many colleagues from the cabinet here, colleagues from the executive of the PNM. Welcome to La Horquetta. We are transforming lives. We are not just putting down concrete and blocks. We are transforming lives in La Horquetta. We are changing the way that people live. We are investing in the future of Trinidad and Tobago. Not only in La Horquetta, but all over Trinidad and Tobago. The youths are our focus. We are not interested in handouts. I said to my young people, as they came here with their bag of money, I told you that when I was in Shogunas, as they came with their bag of money to try to corrupt the young people of La Horquetta, I said to them, get your counterfeit pen and check out those notes. Get your pen and check those notes out. Do not let them buy your soul and your spirit. We are worth more than dollars and cents. But if it passed the counterfeit test, take it. I want to recognize chairman of my constituency of La Horquetta Talparo, Mr. Ratan Singh, campaign manager and team, and my very supportive and lovely wife, Juliet, who is here with me tonight. I'm sorry that I don't always follow your advice not to shout on the platform, but when I get here and the Balize bug bite me, honey, I just have to let people know, PNM, 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 PNM. This yellow code thing, I want to spend a minute or two dealing with this yellow code thing. Listen to me. The yellow code is their way of trying to influence and suppress votes in communities like La Horquetta and Maloney and Caranage. They somehow feel, I want to spend 2 minutes on that before I tell you about all the lovely things we have been doing in La Horquetta Talparo, so my colleagues could get jealous. Don't be fooled by the UNC voter suppression tactics. They sat down with their consultants and they said, listen, in 2010, we tried a do-so campaign. Dominic told you about it. And we planned this thing in such a way that we were able to suppress 6% of the votes in particular constituencies to skew the results in favor of the UNC. And so I want Trinidad and Tobago to pay particular attention to what I'm about to say. And don't take my word for it. What I can tell you is for their social media influencers, we have the information. Trinidad is a small place, you know. They have offered to social media influencers from communities like La Horquetta and Maloney and Caranage. If you have, and Port of Spain North, if you have more than 30,000 followers, they will pay you $5,000 a week. For that money, you must post at least 3 times a day until the elections. If you have more than 40,000 followers, they will pay you $7,500 per week. And you have to post at least 4 to 5 times a day. And if you have over 50,000 followers, they will pay you $10,000 a week. And you have to post non-stop every day. A short video that you will make in your bedroom or your kitchen, you have seen them. It's talking about yellow is the code. Saying repeatedly that you're fed up of the PNM. And yellow is the code. And bad talk Rowley and Young as much as possible. That is what they have presented to the people of Trinidad and Tobago in an effort to suppress the vote. Because they feel if they suppress the vote, if they could fool you and encourage you to stay home and talk about I don't vote and yellow is the code, etc., they can steal government and get back in the treasury and take your money and put it in their back bedroom that they have prepared for $100 bills. They did it and they tried it in 2010 and they were a bit successful. Let me quote for you. You know, it doesn't give me any pleasure to read things like this, you know, because we are a cosmopolitan country. We love each other. We eat roti and pilau on the same plate, and we have no problem with each other. There's a fellow called Alexander Nix. He's the founder of Cambridge Analytica. And let me tell you what Nix had to say. This is not Foster Cummings saying. So those who are taking notes in the media, if you were not paying attention before, pay attention now. What I'm about to quote doesn't come from the Cummings handbook. It comes from a fellow called Alexander Nix, who is the founder of Cambridge Analytica. I quote, "We are a behavior change agency." You hear that? Behavior change. The holy grail of communications is when you can start to change behavior. To be fair, this is a great, interesting case history of how we look at problems. He was referring to their job here in Trinidad and Tobago. He says, Nix says, there are 2 main political parties, one for the blacks and one for the Indians. And you know, they go after each other. I had to just correct what he said. I didn't want to say exactly what he said. They go after each other. That is more acceptable for the public consumption. He didn't say that. He said they did something else to each other. So we were working for the Indians. We went to the client and we said, we want to target the youth. And we try and increase apathy. That's, you know, to get them so not interested in politics and voting. The campaign had to be non-political because the kids don't care about politics. He goes on to say, it had to be reactive because they are lazy. So we came up with this campaign, which was all about being part of a gang. Do something cool. Be part of a movement. And it was called the Do So campaign. It means I'm not going to vote. Do so, don't vote. That's what they were doing. A salute of resistance that is known all across Trinidad and Tobago. Do so, do so, do so. It's a sign of resistance against not the government, but against politics and voting. Run with it. They are making their own YouTube videos. It was inaccurate. We knew that when it came to voting, all the Afro-Caribbean kids wouldn't vote because of DUSO. But all the Indian kids will do what their parents told them to do, which is to go out and vote. Media, remember, I am quoting Alexander Nix. They had a lot of fun doing this, but they are not going to go against their parents' will. Thank God for the guidance that has brought us here. Thank you, God. And the difference in 18 to 35-year-old turnout is like 40%. And that will win the election. All we need is about 6% in an election that's very close. We now undertake 10 national campaigns for prime ministers and presidents. Ladies and gentlemen, that was in 2010. In 2025, because they feel we foolish, they ain't come back with DUSO, they come now with yellow is the code. And they expect that they can inject that in you to cause you young people not to come out of your house and vote. I say to you, do not allow the UNC to fool you and manipulate you. They are trying to get into your head. Reject the yellow code. Reject the yellow code. Red is the word. Red is the word. Red is the word. Red is the word. Reject them. Because the PNM approach is not to discourage you from voting. We want to encourage you to take part in the political process. Our means of development for you is empowerment. We want to empower you. We don't want to hand you a $40,000 or $50,000 and next week you're broken and you don't know where to turn. We want to educate you and prepare you for a life of independence. And therefore, let me share with you just a few things that we have been doing here in Horquetta, Talparo. To assist in that, we have constructed one of the most modern facilities here, the Horquetta Public Library. To promote learning, to encourage access to information. It is a safe space for our young people to encourage cultural enrichment through the use of the auditorium and the amphitheater, that facility. It is a multi-use building with entrepreneurship shops for small business, free access to resources like books and technology, literary support, and connecting people with shared interests. That is what we're doing here in Horquetta. We're not interested in fooling young people. And then, to add to that, we recognize that some of our young people did not do so well at secondary school. But we still want them to be the best version of themselves. So we have to equip them with the necessary skills to make sure that they are more marketable. Do we sit by and wait for them to find that on their own? No. Within the community, we are bringing skills training, technical vocational learning within the community. So a couple of months ago, we turned the sod for the brand new Youth Development Center right here in Horquetta. So, if you want to be a carpenter, a mason, a joiner, a plumber, an electrician, computer programmer, you name it, a wide range of skills all the way up to CVQ level. You could work locally, regionally, or internationally. We are taking our young people off the street, away from idleness and unproductive activity and behavior, and we are preparing them for a life, a productive life. That is what we're doing. In addition to that, my cabinet colleagues, some of them right behind me, has approved the construction of a brand new secondary school for the young people of Horquetta. an investment of approximately $200 million. That is how much we love you. This is not all talk. We are going to do it. We have committed a decision already to do it. And I thank the members of the cabinet for their support in that direction. Only a couple days ago, that's about a few hundred feet behind me, we turned the sod for the construction of a brand new swimming pool for the residents of La Horquetta and environs. The Coast Guard is going to be involved with the young people, training them how to swim like a fish, like Indara could swim. And soon to come, we have already identified the land, and Cabinet has already approved the project. UDCOT is currently engaged in doing the design and the procurement for the construction of a brand new youth camp in Wallerfield, a residential learning facility. And all of this is projects in La Horquetta, Talparo, but I don't have all night. So if I go on to read all about the road stabilization projects, the concrete drain, the landslip repair, the bridge reconstruction, slope stabilization, drainage works, Mamoral Savannah, Tamana Road, Wassa Well, Starter Home, Wassa Pump, bridge reconstruction, road paving, recreation ground. Community center in Greenvale, brand new center in La Horquetta, brand new center in Wallerfield. That is your MP on the job working for you. They could come with how much electricity, what they want. This town is PNM town. But I know people are applying to come and live in La Horquetta. I tell them, hold on, you don't want to be charged for voter pardon, wait until after the election. But we have space here, we have room here, you could come and feel welcome to live in La Horquetta, Talparo anytime after the election. And for all of Trinidad and Tobago, I'm spending my next few minutes telling you about the work of the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, because when you go to vote, you must remember that the UNC closed down all the youth camps in Trinidad and Tobago. You must remember that the UNC closed down all the programs for youth development. They left our young people on the street, susceptible to being recruited by gang leaders and people with criminal intent. And then they wanted to come and talk about crime. You, UNC, created the incubator for the crime in Trinidad and Tobago. You, the UNC. When our young people would go to the youth camps and upskill themselves and come out and go and be able to take care of their families and work and go into business, you shut it down because you did not like the project. You didn't like it because it did not benefit those who you thought you must serve. When you are elected to government, the PNM serves all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It matters not to me. It matters not to me. It matters not to Young. It matters not to Penny or any member of the PNM, whether you're from Felicity, Barrackpore, Pinal, Siparia, Chaguanas, Toco, Port of Spain, Tobago, as long as you are a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. We represent all. We are the only political party. We are the only political party that has fielded 41 candidates in every constituency in Trinidad. and in every constituency in Tobago. They claim to be a national party and they cannot field a candidate in Tobago. There is no country called Trinidad. There is no country called Tobago. There is only the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So understanding the problems that face us, crime fighting is not locking up people and throwing them in prison. That's one aspect of it. You go afoul of the law, the police will deal with you. But one of the things you have to do is understand some of the social problems that may cause young people to be idle and unproductive, and you have to get them on the productive path. So what have we done as a government? We took a decision that we will invest hundreds of millions of your taxpayers' dollars to create the ecosystem of support that is necessary for the fullness of the development of the youth. We open agricultural programs, and we have trained, I repeat it, we have trained 1,400 young farmers to make sure you can get food at a cheaper price, to reduce our food import bill. We give them land, we giving them starter home, and we giving them a grant, and we give them all the support that they need. And nothing the UNC says will deter us from that strategy. Land is not for you alone. My constituents in Horquetta want land to plant, to rear animals, to plant cabbage, tomatoes, lettuce, pak choy. They love the land. And I'm sure the constituents all over Trinidad have been taking great advantage of that program. Go on the ministry website, www.mydns.gov.tt, and you will see that we have the Youth Agriculture Homestead Program, the Youth Agricultural Shade House Program, the Youth Aquaculture Program, the Community Business Shade House Program, the Drive Program for automotive servicing, the All Set Program that will train you in heavy equipment operation, backhoe, skid steer, loader, dump truck, bulldozer, excavator, backhoe. The U-Tech program for the soft skills in barbering, nail tech, cosmetology. Then we have the CRISP program, air conditioning and refrigeration. And we're taking the career caravan and we are coming into your community wherever you are. We're not waiting for you to read the papers, watch the news, or go on social media. We are bringing the programs within your community in a caravan. You can sign up on the spot. And if you hear about it, tell your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors, and your friends. Project Trending, training young people how to operate business using social media. Youth on Stage, the National Youth Festival Talent Search. 40 Under 40, which is the program, the mentorship program. We have Amplify, that is a music production program. We have PLAR, that is a prior learning assessment program. So if you're a tailor, you know to sew well, but you have no certification, we take you in and we move you towards certification. We have the drilling rig operations program, so we can train you to go and work in the energy sector. We have the linesman training program. Some of them graduated this morning so that they can work in T&Tech or elsewhere in the industry. We have the pipe program, plumbing skills, the hoist program, crane operations, the IMAP program, which is the industrial training program. And to do all of that, to top it off, I'll tell you the rest next time I'm speaking to you. We give you the National Entrepreneurship Micro Enterprise Grant. So you have a choice to make. You have a choice to make. You could decide to fall for yellow code and stay home and say, I man don't vote. Or you could decide you want these programs to continue for the benefit of the young people of Trinidad and Tobago, to take them off the street, to steer them away from crime. And you could decide, I the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago who loves this country, birthed by Eric Williams, will cast my vote solidly for the People's National Movement. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Join me in saying, great is the PNM. On April 28th, wherever you are, you get up early, you say your prayers. By 6 o'clock, you're in front of the polling station and you take your voting finger and put the X next to the candidate that has the symbol of the Balize, and we'll all be able to save Trinidad and Tobago from the reckless, thieving UNC. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This is a movement, we all in together, not just so one.
This is a new chapter. Join us on the road to victory. On Wednesday, April 16th, Diego Martin, meet us at the Diego Martin Central Secondary School. And Laventil, meet us at the Success Laventil Secondary School for your local meetings. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.